Good evening, everyone. Welcome to FM1 Tuition. So today's topic is rounding up numbers. Why would you want to round up numbers? Simply put it, just to make life easier when you're calculating or when you want to estimate. Now, there's different ways of rounding up numbers. You can round up to like a whole number or integer. You can round up to some decimal places or significant numbers. You can round up to tens, hundreds, thousands, etc. So there's a few different ways of rounding up. We're going to try and go through a few of them right now. So let's give you a practical example of how to round up numbers. Um, what we've done is we've taken Ronaldo and Messi stats and we're going to show you how to round up their numbers because, as you know, whoever's an avid football fan is, they've got huge numbers. Let me just show you this figure. So if you look here, that's Messi on the left and Ronaldo on the right. And as you can see, crazy numbers. They just move a bit further. So for example, Messi, he scored 419 goals in the league, 112 in Europe, 72 in cup competition. And compare that to Ronaldo, he scored about 422 in the league, 127 in Europe, and 55 in other cups. Okay, let me show you my working out now. So let's take Ronaldo here. Okay, here's Ronaldo. Let me get the head. That's Ronaldo here. For those of you who don't know who he is, one of the best players in the world. Some of you guys may disagree and think it's Messi, but for me it's Ronaldo. Anyway, here's 422. So what? How do you round that up to the nearest 100? So what we do is let's draw a line here. There's 400. Oh, sorry. There's 400 on this side, and there's 500. And in the middle is, say, 450. So 422 is between 400 and 450. Right here somewhere. So therefore, 422 is closer to 400 than to 500. So to round up 422 to the closest hundreds is 400. So you can, if you want to just talk about Ronaldo's league goals, you can just say he scored about 400 goals. So that's one of the reasons why I would round up. Then to say he's done 422 if you don't know the exact figures. Okay, so let's now round up the European goals that Ronaldo scored. So you see you got 100 here, 200 here, 150. So let's round up the European goals to the closest hundreds. So 127 is again in between 100 and 150. So therefore it's closer to the 100 mark. Therefore we can say he scored roughly 100 goals. What we do, we'll round up to the closest tens. So you got say 50 here. You got 60 here. 55 in between. Which is spot on here. It's exactly in the middle. But 55 to the closest tens, you go upwards. So if it's 5, is anything towards the right now. So it's 60. So round it up to the closest tens is 60. So he scored up roughly about 60 cup goals. Alright, let's see if you guys can work out Messi's one. So 419 closest to the closest 100 is what? 450 here, 400, 500. Sorry about the handwriting, but I'm sure you guys have figured out by now. That should be 400. So the European goals is closest to 100 or 200. That's right, closest to 100. And this 70 and 80, 75, 72 is roughly between 70 and 75 here. So therefore the closest is 70. Maybe that's off the screen right now. Let me just put a bit higher, 70. So let's just compare the two. So Ronaldo's roughly scored 400 league goals. So has Messi, European both are 100 each. And cup goals, Ronaldo's at 60, Messi's at 70. So that's a quick live example of how to round up numbers. Now let's do it practically with exam questions. So we've written out a few more questions for you guys. Here we are on the left, we got rounding up these numbers to the tens, and here to the hundreds. And here one decimal place on the left again, and here two decimal places. So what I want you guys to do is pause the video and see if you guys can answer it. Then play it back and let's go through it together. Okay, so here, nearest tens. So here's a 70 here, the 7 is a tens here. So the nearest is 70 or 80. So 1 is below 5, sorry. So therefore, it's closer to 70. Okay. 65. Rounding it up or down. So 5 is closer to 70 side again. So the answer is 70 if we were to round it. 33. 3 is below 5, so it's closer to 30. Okay, here we are, nearest hundreds now, nearest hundreds. 255, so it'll either be 200 or 300. 255 is in between 250. There you go, let me just draw a line to make it easier. 250, so the number is here closer to the 300 mark. 471 is above 450, so therefore the nearest rounding up to the hundreds is 500. And finally this one, 192, is closer to 200. Again, if you will draw a line, 100 here, 200 here, 192 is here, past the 150 mark, so therefore it's closer to 200 mark. Okay, so now let's go through decimal places. So if I move it up here, so here we go. So now we're going to do decimal places and significant numbers. Let's go through the decimal places. So we want these numbers to one decimal place here. Alright, so how do we do this? So first of all, where's the one decimal place? It's on this side where the 1 is here. 9.123. This 1 here is one decimal place we want. So next to it is number 2. 2 is below 5. Therefore the answer is to one decimal place, 9.1. This one, 2 is here to one decimal place, so you got 2.2, but not, next to it is 9. 9 is above 5, so it's closer to 3 now. So we add it here. So if it was below, if the 9 was below 5, say 2.4, then it runs down to 2.2, but because it's above, we have to go one ahead now. Because it's 9, we have to add on another 1 on this side because it becomes 30. But we leave out the 0. And finally this one, 4.45. So let's look at 5 here. So obviously that's a bit higher. We have to round it up, that becomes 4.50, but we leave out the 0, so it's 4.5. Next one along now to two decimal places. So we want to go here's 6 and here to 0. So this is a second decimal place. Next to it we have the number 2, which again is below 5. Therefore, to do two decimal places, you got 5.60. Next one, 0.0, and then you got 7 here and 9 next to it. Therefore we have to go up 1, which is 8. 0.08 to two decimal places. And finally this one here, 2.4, that goes without saying here. You got 4 here, 3 here. Now 3 next to it, you got the 6. This 6 here. Again, that's above 5, so you have to add 1 out ahead. So that's the answer. So the answer is 2.44. And finally, let's look at significant numbers now. So a significant number is any number, any first number that isn't 0. So like if you look at, let me just show you this example, number 3 example. The first significant number is this 6 here. So you'd have to round up this number 6, which we'll go through in a bit. But you want the first number which isn't 0. So in this case, no question 1 is number 4. So let's get the blue marker pen out So to one significant figure, we go to this number here, 4. We go next to it, which is 7. 7 is higher than 5, so we'd have to round it up to 500. So 993, again 9 is the first significant figure. Next to it is 9. So if we were to round up, it becomes 10, so it's 1,000. Does that make sense? So to round it up, the number next to it is 9. So you got 9 here initially, the number next to it to the right is 9. If you round the first number up, the first 9, it becomes a 10. And then you still got the 2 zeros. So it's 1,000. And finally this one here, the first significant number is 6 here. That's the first non-zero term. So you got 0.0. Now next to it is 7, which is higher than 5. So if you were to add it on, not add it on but round it up, it becomes 0.07 here. Two significant figures now. Again, let's go to the first non-zero number, which is 1. Second one along is 7. Next to it is 9. Round it up. That should be, let me just write question 1 here. That should be 0.0018. Question 2, 655. So to two significant figures. So look, we got the 6 here and 5 here. This is the number we want. Next to it is 5. So if you were to round it up, let me just write here. It should be 6600. And finally, hopefully you guys have figured this one out to two significant figures. You got 5 and 6. Next to it is 3, which is below 5. So the answer is 0.56. Anyway, so hopefully you guys understood how to do decimals and significant numbers, significant figures. So there should be a 0 here. That's 0.18. Anyway, as I was saying, hopefully you guys should now understand how to round up numbers. Tens, hundreds, 1 decimal place, 2 decimal place, significant figures, 1 significant figures, 2 significant figures, etc., 3, 4, etc. So whichever questions you're given, the method is all the same. Especially significant figures, just to quickly clarify, is, as I said, the first non-zero term. So here is 4, here is 1. Decimal places, again, if it's 1 decimal place, it's quite simple. The first one letter or number, next to the dot. The second one along next to the dot, etc. So hopefully that helped out. Have a look at our other videos, FM1 Tuition. Thank you guys, take care.